I'd like to welcome you to our Saturday night spiritual inspiration talk and our affirmative prayer. This is Joyful Gathering Spiritual Center, and I am Reverend Margaret Palagye, the founder of Joyful Gathering, and I'm so happy that you decided to join us this evening. We are located in Westmont, New Jersey when we are meeting. But right now we are located live via Facebook. We are also, you'll find us under my name, which is on our website, joyfulgathering.org. We're also on YouTube, so the YouTube video will be out tomorrow for you to enjoy. Okay. All of our events that we do during the week, and especially our Wednesday night healing time that we spend together about an hour, where we do a guided meditation. Our practitioners and ministers do a guided meditation, and then we do a group prayer for anyone that is on that call. All the information that you need to join us for the Wednesday night healing hour is on our website, joyfulgathering.org. And while you're there, it would be wonderful if you would choose to donate to us. Just put your donation in the PayPal, or you can use your Venmo, or there's an address on the front page of our website where you can mail checks. Thank you so much, and we're going to join together in our service as we do with a deep breath. So let's just take a breath. Let's exhale that breath. Let's breathe in love this evening. Breathe in love. And exhale love. We come together this evening in love. I want to start the talk with a reading from This Thing Called You by Dr. Ernest Holmes. There is that within me which knows I am not the only one with this power. This power is actually flowing through me now. I am not only unified with this divine presence around me, this presence is my presence, and it is your presence right now. It is the presence of my real and true self. I am forever one with life. I am that I am. I am that I am. That's what we're going to get into this evening. This is called cultivating the I am consciousness. So where did that phrase originate? I'm going to go a little bit into that, not too much, because I really want us to get into I am that I am. It's so important. It's important all the times, but especially now, to join together in our community right in this moment, and you're all part of this community. So we may know the story of Moses, who was out tending his father-in-law's flock in the desert, when suddenly God appeared to him in the flames of a burning bush. So this burning bush had a message for Moses to deliver to the people. And in one of his efforts to get out of this assignment, because he didn't want to do this assignment, he said, people won't believe me when I say, the God of your father has sent me. And they will ask, what is his name? What should I say to them? God said, say to the children of Israel, I am that I am has sent me. I am that I am has sent me. So we are, like I said before, we are going to go into what does that really mean for us? What does it really mean? And I'm going to quote from the mother of New Thought, Emma Curtis Hopkins, in her book, High Mysticism. She says the name, which is called the Song of Moses, is the highest name speakable by any of us, at our present stage of expression. It has no references to benefits or works. It stands alone by itself. It is applied to no other, no one, but the only one. It is I am that I am, and that is the term or the name of God. The name of God. The name of the oneness, of the unity of this divine energy that we are all part of. We are all connected with. And today we're going to continue our exploration of the idea that we all have the ability to be mystics. We talked about this last week. And mystics, in our definition, is one who recognizes that there is a presence so much higher than what we can imagine. Recognizing the presence of the divine in all, through all, and as all. And those who practice letting God truly guide them and direct them, inspire and inform their lives. So if you do any of those things, you are a mystic. And today we're going to cultivate that I am consciousness and blend it in with that last talk. And what I know is that within every living soul, there is a call to cultivate this consciousness. There is a deep yearning to connect with, commune with, and be in conscious union with the power greater than ourselves, the great I am. And what we learn in our beautiful New Thought teachings, these spiritualities, is that this is not an external experience at all. It's not a search outside. It all takes place within us. We search for the divine I am within ourselves. We can't do it out here. Out here is the circumstances and effects. We go to the great cause, and the cause is within us. It's within us. So I shared a quote last week from Neville in his book, Your Faith is Your Fortune. I want to repeat it again. Consciously claim yourself to be that which you seek. Hear this, hear this. Appropriate the consciousness of that which you see, and you too shall know the status of a true mystic. That which you are looking for is looking for you. It truly is, the divine is within us to express itself through us. And we can do this in all time, at all times, in all circumstances and experiences. We can still express the divine mystic within us, the I am consciousness that is already here within each and every one. The I am, that is not separate from you or me. It is who we truly are. It's who we truly, truly are. There is that within me which knows. I am not only one with this power is actually flowing through me now. Just take that in, just take a breath. And the presence of divine energy is flowing through me now. I am not only unified with the divine presence around me, this presence is my presence right here, right now. This is our natural spiritual truth. I'm talking about with a capital T, spiritual truth. That we have, for millennia, we have not believed this. We have not truly embodied and embraced this whole concept that the oneness, the unity of this divine energy is within us as it is in all places. There is no separation. That is the greatest healing of all. In God is a verb. Rabbi David Cooper wrote this: the urge to call out to God is always answered simultaneously as it is spoken. For ultimately, there is no difference between the caller and that which it calls. Oneness. Oneness. In fact, in his book, Can We Talk to God, which we're using right now in our spiritual practices class, Can We Talk to God by Dr. Holmes, he writes, wherever deep cries unto deep, deep answers deep. And that means that within you is waiting for your awakening, for your communion with that which is within. The I am consciousness is not a mystery. It is the self-knowingness of God through us. And if we can cultivate it, if we really develop through our meditation, through our prayer work, through our readings and our contemplations, if we really cultivate this relationship, our choices in life become limitless. They become limitless. And as simple as it sounds, we know that it truly is a discipline to remember to call ourselves back to center, to remember to stay in the presence of the divine, to remember that we are one with all that is, that God is the source and supply of all of our needs, to really and truly believe and know this. That's the I am consciousness. That's what we're talking about here. What is the mind that was in Jesus, our master teacher, our way shower? The mind of the I am consciousness. He knew it. The mind that knew that he was an expression of God. It is the Father within who doeth the work, he said. The Father and I are one, he said. This is the great teachings that we now are still deepening into. This oneness of all life, no separation, oneness, unity. Most of us don't get stopped in our tracks in the dramatic way that Saul did on his way to Damascus, as stated in the Old Testament. Although we might, however, it could happen, we could get a message, a direct message, but most of the time we are just called. We are called from the depths of our being to cultivate this I am consciousness, which is the way of the mystic. True happiness lies in this consciousness. Complete fulfillment lies in this consciousness. This is the gift that we have been given, the I am consciousness. Joan Borshenko, in her wonderful book, The Ways of a Mystic, wrote this. A mystic sees beyond the illusion of separation into the intricate web of life in which all things are expressions of a single whole. You can call this web God, the Tao, the Great Spirit, the infinite mystery, Mother, Father, but it can also be known only as love. Jesus was once being tested by the Pharisees, and one of them, knowing the Jewish laws, said, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" And Jesus said, "Love the Lord with your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. And the second is very similar to it. Love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hangs the law and the prophets." How do I cultivate the I am consciousness? How do we truly get in touch with the I am consciousness through love? I had to talk to a 5-year-old this week about what is God. I think I got to write a book because I couldn't find a really good one. What is God? And what I came up with as I'm speaking to her over the phone, FaceTiming, is God is love. God is invisible. We can't see the invisible. I can't talk to her about energy and faith, but I can talk to her about love. Love. And so that's the way that we develop this I am consciousness. though it's not necessarily easy. But it's a concept that we can all agree upon, I think. Love as a real-life, face-to-face practice could be another story. Especially while we're being challenged in these times. But the more kindness we show is an expression and a facet of that love that I'm speaking of. Marianne Williamson, in her book, Return to Love, wrote this: "Love takes more than crystals and rainbows. It takes discipline and practice. It's not just a sweet sentiment from a Hallmark card. It is a radical commitment to a different way of being, a mental response to life that is completely at odds with the rest of the world. Most of this world that we live in feels like, we don't know for sure, but it feels like a lot of chaos. It feels like a lot of hate. It feels like a lot of wars are going on. But we can choose. We can choose to show up as love, wherever we are, in whatever circumstance that we are. The more that we meet that critical mass, the more that we show these kind acts and just loving people, being nice to people, we can tip the scale. And I know that we can, because that is our teachings. That's what I believe, and I know that most of you believe the same thing. So we're going to conclude today with some words from Ernest Holmes. If you notice, I'm keeping my talks nice and short so that you'll be really interested in what I have to say. And if you know me personally, you know I skip over pages. That's what I'm doing. Because we want to get into this. We finally anchor today's affirmation with some slight changes. I started the talk with a quote, short reading from Ernest Holmes. And I do want to finish it with that, but I've tweaked it a little bit so that we can really embody and embrace it, okay? So close your eyes, you can keep them open. Just breathe, take a deep breath. You are part of the I Am consciousness. There is that within me which knows I am love. I am not only one with the power of love, this power of love is actually flowing through me now. I am not only unified with the divine presence of love around me, this presence of love is my presence. It is the presence of my real and true self. I am forever one with love. I am that I am. I am love. You are love. I can know that. I can claim that. And I hope that you join me in this way of showing up, of being the kind, loving soul that you truly are. And so it is, and so shall it be. But I have a prayer for you. So just